Genesis chapter 25. I'm going to start at verse 19. I'm not going to be dealing with all of it, but I need to give you context. All right, Genesis chapter 25, starting at verse 19, and it reads as such. I'm reading from the NIV version. It's on the screen if you want to follow with me. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son Isaac. Abraham became the father of Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean, from Bouldin, Aram, and sister of Laban, the Aramean. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. The Lord answered his prayer, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. The babies, they jostled, they wrestled each other within her, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. The Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. The first to come out was red, and his whole body was like a hairy garment. So they named him Esau. Somebody say Esau. Esau. After this, his brother came out with his hand grasping Esau's heel. So he was named Jacob. Somebody say Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to them. The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter and a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents. Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. All right, this is where we're going to really focus on, starting at verse 29 here. Once when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the open country, famished. He said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished." That is why he was also called Edom. Jacob replied, "First sell me your birthright." "Look, I'm about to die," Esau said. "What good is the birthright to me?" But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil stew. He ate and drank and then got up and left. So Esau despised his birthright. You may be seated. As I told you last week, in this four-part series on money mindsets, the titles is Money Mindset, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. But if I had to attach some type of subtitle to today, it would be along the lines of "Don't sell your birthright." Don't sell your birthright. Let me lay some foundation. Let me just get straight into this. Isaac and Rebekah, they have two sons. These two sons, they're twin boys. Esau is the oldest twin. Esau is the oldest twin. Because Esau is the firstborn, there are things that he would have inherited from his father as the firstborn. There was this concept of the firstborn birthright. Say that with me. Firstborn. Birthright. If you take it down, all right. If you're taking down notes, go ahead and write that down. Firstborn birthright. It's important to understand what this is. The birthright was all about what that firstborn son was going to inherit. The inheritance, it was really twofold. Number one, it was positional inheritance. What do you mean by that? It was positional inheritance in that the firstborn son would inherit the position of his father. The firstborn son would inherit the leadership of his father. As the father was the patriarch of the family, so the firstborn son would be. So he inherited a positional inheritance. The second part of the inheritance, though, it was financial. It was financial. And that is that not only would he inherit his position, but he would also inherit a double portion of whatever the father's wealth was. So the firstborn son would inherit much more than all his other siblings would inherit. It was a financial inheritance. The financial inheritance would be also received in the future. So the birthright is something that will come in the future. Now, when you look at the text, when you sum it all up, Esau sells his birthright to his younger brother, his younger twin, Jacob. If birthright represents Esau's financial future, Esau essentially sold his financial future for a bowl of stew. Come closely, church family. Some of us are selling our financial future for a bowl of stew. Let me say that again because it got your head. I needed to make it down to your heart. Some of us are selling our financial future for a bowl of stew. What do you mean by that, preacher? I've never sold my financial future for a bowl of stew. No, you may not be selling it for a bowl of stew, but you're selling it for a cup of Starbucks. Maybe it's not Starbucks. Maybe you are selling it for a bowl of what we talked about last week, a bowl of Amazon. Maybe you are selling it for the bowl that you keep on buying because you're not cooking, so you go to Chipotle and get one of their bowls. No, you're not selling it for a bowl of stew, but you are making financial decisions every single day, and you are selling your financial future for that bowl of stew. Whatever your stew is, you're selling it. And so the question that I want to put before us today, that I'm hoping that the Word of God can help us with, is how do we not sell our financial future for a bowl of stew? I'm going to give you 3 quick things to think about. Number 1, write this down. If you're not going to sell your financial future for a bowl of stew, number 1, stop emotionally spending. Stop emotionally spending. The text says that Esau, he was hunting all day. He comes in, and the text says he is famished. Famished. That's an emotional term. That describes what he was feeling in that moment, right? He was famished, and because he was famished, he made an emotional decision. Some of us, we are making financial, emotional decisions every single day. And because of your emotions, and that is what's driving you, you are selling your financial future for a bowl of stew. Stop emotionally spending. Somebody might ask, well, how do I stop emotionally spending? Well, the first one is allow 24 hours to pass. Let's say, walk with me. Let's say you go on Amazon and you start just putting stuff inside the basket. All right? Now, emotionally, what got you there in the first place is because you saw that Reverend Reed had it and you thought it was a great idea, so you took out your phone really quick and you added it to your shopping cart. That's an emotional reaction in that moment, right? You say, ooh, that look good. Ooh, that look good. And so you just start adding stuff to your shopping cart. All right, so let's say you got about 10 things in there right now, okay? If you have 10 things in there right now, wait 24 hours. Allow the emotions to come down. Can you imagine had Esau, if he just took a minute if he did not operate out of his state of emotion, I'm famished, if he just calmed down for a second and really thought about what he was doing, he would recognize, you know what? I don't really need to sell my birthright for a bowl of stew. You don't need to sell your financial future for your bowl of Amazon. Just wait a second. Come back to it and say, you know what? I really don't need that. I really don't need that. You know what? I really don't need any of these things. And you might walk away without purchasing anything. Wait 24 hours. Let me give you something else. Depending on who you are, this doesn't work for anybody, you might consider using cash. You might consider using cash. Cash is cash, right? So you pull out some money out of your bank account and you use only that for that day. See this thing right here? This card right here, this plastic. If you were to ask me right now what I spent in putting gas in my car, the last time I put gas in my car, I couldn't tell you. You know why? Because I just swiped. This right here, there is no mental connection really with this, right? So if I spent $100, I didn't feel the $100. But if I had a $100 bill and I gave you a $100 bill, it does something mentally to you because I can see that there's $100 that's moving from me to you. There's an exchange there that changed. And by the time you get to the end of the day, you recognize, oh my God, I spent $100. Some of us, we spend $200, $300, but you really thought that you only spent $40. Because you're not seeing it. You're just swiping. You went to 5 different places and you think that you only spent $40 in California? If I sneeze, I didn't spend $40. Here's the third one that I want to give you. You want to stop emotionally spending. Make a list. Make a list. When you go inside the grocery store, before you get there, make a list. You see, many of us, we'll go grocery shopping. Here's the other thing. We'll go grocery shopping when you're hungry. Bad decision. There's a reason why they set up the store the way they do. That's not accident. That's intentional. They put everything, all the snacks and all the stuff that's really not going to actually create a meal. There's a reason why all of that stuff is the first thing that you see. You're like, ooh, I need, you know you don't need that. But next thing you know, you done put all this stuff in your basket, you done got to the cash register, it's now $200, and you're like, what did I buy? Absolutely nothing, because you're an emotional spender. You're selling your financial future for a bowl of stew, a bag of chips, some candy, snacks. I'm trying to help us out here. I taught last week, God has called you to be a steward. He has not given you all the money that you have to waste it. He has placed financial things. The Bible speaks so much about how to cover our finances and what to do with it. We ought not to just do whatever we want to do. Remember, I taught last week, our money don't belong to us. It belongs to God. You are just a manager over your finances. Stop emotionally spending. I'm going to give you the second one. Write this down. Separate your wants from your needs. Separate your wants from your needs. Esau, after he's hunting, he's tired, he's exhausted, he's famished. And so he comes back home, and he smells something good cooking in the kitchen. He smells his younger twin brother Jacob whooping up some red stew. And so immediately he goes to his brother and he says, give me some of that stew. And Jacob, now seeing a way to deceive his brother, to steal his birthright, his financial future, he says, sell me your birthright and I'll give you a bowl of stew. What does Esau respond? He says, well, what good is my birthright if I'm dead? I'm getting ready to die. Some of us, we say that about certain purchases. If I don't make this sale, because this sale comes once in a lifetime, I'm going to die. If I don't have that jacket, I'm going to die. If I don't get these shoes, because these shoes don't come out all the time, I'm going to die if I don't get these shoes. This is a once in a lifetime chance. If I don't go there, if I don't have that, I'm just going to die. No, you don't mind. You may not use the word die, but you act like it. That if somehow you don't get to purchase whatever that thing is, somehow your life is not going to be able to go on. How am I going to live without that thing? So you go ahead and you purchase it. Why? Because you're treating a want like it's a need. In this moment, Esau, he looks at this bowl of stew, and immediately he's attached life and death to a bowl of stew. Esau, you know well that you could have just easily went inside the kitchen and made you a bologna sandwich and would have still had your birthright. Your financial future would have still been intact. But you've now confused your needs and your wants. So I'm going to give you 4 questions to ask. Number 1, is it a need? Number 2, is it a want? Number 3, do I love it? And number 4, do I like it? Let's define terms. Need. A need, it is something that is required for survival. Let me say that again. A need is something that is required for survival. What are some examples of that? Food, clothing, shelter, water. Those are the things that we need for survival. Now, this is where I need to massage this a little bit, because this is where we end up messing up. Let's walk through this a little bit. Food. That doesn't mean steak and lobster. You don't need steak and lobster. You need rice and beans. Outside of somebody's mortgage and somebody's rent, food is the second largest cost, and people are selling their financial future. Remember, as I said before, for that bowl of Chipotle. You don't need Chipotle, but you keep buying it 2-3 times a day. Because emotionally, you don't feel like cooking. You don't feel like making it happen. And so instead of pushing through it, you end up just selling your financial future for it. Let's talk about shelter. Shelter doesn't have to look like the 5-bedroom house that you can't afford. especially when you're living in California. Sometimes shelter just looks like a box, but thank God that you got a roof over your head. Let's talk about clothes. Clothes don't have to be name brand. You don't need name brand. What you need is a shirt on your back. That's all you need. Now, if you can afford it, get your Louis Vuitton, boo. But as I taught last week, don't act rich if you're not rich. Water. You know what water means? Water. It means water. What that means is that you can go your entire life and never have to drink another soda. You never have to buy any juice and put it in your refrigerator. And guess what? You will live. You might actually live longer because of it. You may not have some of the sicknesses that we have because of it. If all you drunk was water. You know what that means? That means that when you go out to eat, you don't always have to purchase an actual drink with your meal. $3, $4, $5 drink with your meal. You can just simply say, give me some of that free water. And if you want to spice it up, at all, just say, bring me some of the soda water and throw some lemon in it while you at it. And if you're really thrifty, bring some Crystal Light with you. I'm trying to get really practical with y'all today. Stop making what things that are needs into really things that are wants. Because that's what's tripping us up. That's what was causing us to sell our financial future for a bowl of stew. Food, shelter, water, clothes. Wants. Wants, I basically walked through that with you as I kind of talked about the needs. But a want is something that you desire, but that you don't actually need to live. A want is something that you desire, but you don't need it to live. You may want whatever that $1,000 purchase is. You might want that new gadget, the new phone, whatever it might be, but you don't need the new phone. You got to call it what it is. This is a want. It's all right to have wants, but call it a want. Don't treat the want like it's a need. 3, do you love it? What are things that we love? They are the things that will bring us enjoyment for a long-term period of time. For instance, my wife and I, we've had the privilege to travel a lot. Been to Italy, Rome, France. We've just had the privilege to travel a little bit. Our favorite place to go, though, is Jamaica. That Jamaica trip, especially our last one, Jamaica, it still brings me enjoyment just thinking about it today. I love Jamaica. But going to Jamaica, it costs. It costs. So I have to be very careful in what I do right now if I ever want to go to Jamaica again. Do you love it? Is it going to bring a long-term sense of enjoyment from that thing? Or do you just like it? A like is something that's very temporary. It's something that may bring you only enjoyment in that moment, or by the time you get to the end of the year, it's going to be somewhere in the garage, in the back of the closet, or somewhere you just don't even know where it is anymore. A lot of us, we got a lot of those things in our house right now. Things, financial decisions that you made in a whim, and you bought that thing and you enjoyed it right then and there. But now, that thing no longer gives you enjoyment anymore. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. A lot of us, we are exchanging the things that we want and the things that we like. We are buying those things at the expense of the things that we actually need and that we love. And what I'm trying to get you all to understand is don't sell the things that you need and that you love for the things that you just want and that you like. Need, want, love, like. Here's the last thing and then I'm done. Learn to delay gratification. Learn to delay gratification. Learn to delay your gratification. Esau could have waited. He wasn't dying in that moment. He could have waited. He could have delayed his gratification of hunger in the moment. Had he just waited just a little bit longer, he could have satisfied that hunger with something else. Had he just waited. Delaying gratification is all about waiting. It's all about patience, which some of us may struggle with. We struggle with just waiting. We struggle with patience. We don't know how to wait until later to get it. Delaying gratification, it sums up really into this. I'm saying no to something today so that I can say yes to something better tomorrow. Let me say that again. Delaying gratification is saying I'm going to say no to something today so that I can say yes to something greater tomorrow. It means that I'm going to say no to that $1,000 purchase today so that I can say yes to the Jamaica trip tomorrow. It says that I'm going to say no to all of the eating out and all of these little expenses that are draining my bank account today so that I can save up and have a down payment on the car, a down payment on the house, or whatever big purchase that you're trying to make. I'm trying to say no to something today so that I can say yes to something greater tomorrow. And this right here, family, this is not just a financial concept. This is not just a financial money mindset. This is a mindset that you ought to have in every aspect of your relationship with God. Delaying gratification, it is a part of what it means to be Christian. If you are really sold out and living for God, I mean, I'm not talking about you're playing with it. I'm talking about you are really, really sold out and walking for God. There are going to come moments and times where God is going to call you to say no to some stuff today so that you can say yes to some greater stuff tomorrow. If you don't believe me, just ask Abraham. Did not God call Abraham at the age of 75, tell him to leave his father's house? In other words, did he not say, Abraham, I need you to say no to your father's house. I need you to say no to the country. I need you to say no to the family. I need you to say no to your comfort so that your ancestors can say yes to something greater, the promised land, tomorrow. Sometimes God is going to call us to say no to some stuff today so that we can say yes to something greater tomorrow. Paul, the Apostle Paul, that is, in the New Testament, he says, I look at my life. And I know when you look at my life, you see everything that I've gained. But he says, I count it all as trash. He says, I count it all as loss. When you look at everything about me, my resume, the things that I've accumulated, yes, I was rich. Yes, I had all of this, but I count all of that as loss for the surpassing knowledge of knowing Jesus Christ, my Savior and Lord. I have not fully obtained it, but I press towards my high calling. I press towards that prize because I recognize that knowing Christ is much better than anything else that I can ever find of worth in this world. And so if it means that I got to give up some stuff, especially material stuff, that don't mean a hill of beans for eternity, because eternity is a very long time, y'all. Right now, you're living in a life and you're blessed if you make it 100 years, but eternity is eternity. And if you're going to get to eternity, you got to be able to say no to some stuff in this temporary life so that you can say yes to eternal life. There are some things in this life that you're going to need to say no to right now so that you can say yes to those things tomorrow. And when we get there, church family, when Jesus comes back, I'll have all the riches I ever need. I'll have all my needs met. All the clothes that I will ever need, I will have in my closet. There is nothing I will ever have to worry about. This life, what we do here, it's preparing us for the next. And so the question is, are you willing to be able to say no to some stuff today for something greater tomorrow? Are you willing to delay your gratification? Church family, as we walk through this text today, Esau sold his birthright, his financial future, for a bowl of stew. All I'm trying to tell you, if you don't get it, is that doesn't have to be you.